Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is March 7th, and right now we're looking at the Gulf of Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon. It's churning again. It's going to bring some precipitation and some systems our way as we go on in through early next week. Then we're going to try to build a ridge here near the Pacific Northwest. It could warm us up and dry us out. We'll take a look at those details as we go through the video this morning. Looking at the visible satellite, you can see Mount Rainier. You can see some pockets of fog. Could be some freezing fog. Slow down if you encounter that. But the message is enjoy the sunshine today because the clouds are going to be starting to take over here as we go through the weekend. Precipitation returns. And looking at sunset times, look at this. After we fall forward on March 10th, we go to post 7 p.m. sunsets. And we're adding almost 3.5 minutes every single day of daylight. So very nice. I do enjoy those post 7 o'clock sunsets. Now, taking a look here, we've got some chilly temperatures out there. Watch out because we're getting the 20s here. Willamette Valley, Western Washington, Southwest BC, all the way out to the coastal area here. They got that black ice potential and some freezing fog, but we're going to be warming things up here as we go through the weekend. You know, we get that warmer air aloft and the clouds start coming in. We don't get as much radiational cooling overnight. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station to watch the temperature at your house, updates every 3 seconds. This is what the smartphone app looks like. And you've got lightning detection system with it as well. Stores all the data for you in the cloud. Click on that link down below to save 10%. Now, looking at Seattle, I want to draw attention to this. In 2019, for March 18th, 19th, and 20th, we set 3 straight daily records, 76, 79, and 79. That's because a big ridge built up over the area. And this is what it looked like. At 18,000 feet, you can see the ridge extending all the way up into British Columbia here. And so this is what we're going to be going through here. And we're going to go over these systems one by one here in a moment. But I want to show you the ridge. You can see the systems coming in here, rolling through the Pacific Northwest. And then the finale there as we go through Monday night into Tuesday. And then that ridge starts to build, and models have been in really good agreement here over the last couple of days that this ridge is going to form. And you can see it doesn't quite go quite as far north here, but this would warm us up here across Pacific Northwest, and if nothing else, would keep the systems at bay at least for a time. So that's what we're watching here through the extended forecast. Now, first things first, we got some storm systems to worry about here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. You can see as we go through the day today, some precipitation starting for western British Columbia here. As we go through tonight, moves down across Vancouver Island, kind of taking its sweet time to get down towards Washington and Oregon. This front is kind of decaying as it makes its way in, but a stronger system right on the heels of that. Look at this 985 millibar low as we go through Saturday. Some pretty good pressure gradients, some breezy conditions locally here, and precipitation continues all the way on in through Tuesday morning here as another system, the finale, number 3, rolls through. And then we start to dry out and we start to build this ridge. You can see it kind of nosing in here and keeping that storm track up across central and northern British Columbia, maybe southeast Alaska for a time. And then we start to warm up here across Pacific Northwest. As you can see, we get a break from that precipitation here all the way through the extended forecast. You know, we'll have to revisit this as we go because this is bound to change. It's hard to keep a ridge around here for long, but you can also see through the extended forecast some Arctic air across Alberta there and the pressure gradient across western Montana into central BC. But plenty of time to worry about that and see how that evolves in the forecast. I also want to draw attention to this because if you're out on the coast today, you'll probably notice just kind of the lack of waves out there. But that's not going to last. As we go through this weekend, you can kind of see this increase. We go through Friday night and Saturday, waves start to pick up. And by the time you get towards Saturday afternoon, it's going to kind of become raging out there across the coasts of Washington, Oregon, and Vancouver Island. And that's going to continue on in through the early portion of next week upcoming here. Then when the ridge builds, you know, we'll probably calm those waves down a bit through the end of next week. But looking at total precipitation in inches here quickly as we go through the National Blend of Models, you can see initially precipitation across Vancouver Island, and it takes its sweet time getting down into western Washington and Oregon there. You can see the rain shadowing effect for eastern Washington and Oregon, and you can see the Olympic mountains here for Washington, the coastal range of Oregon there as well, not doing too bad. And you can see some rain shadowing effects across some of the areas northeast of the Olympic mountains there. So, you know, we've got some precipitation coming. It's not incredibly heavy though, but we're definitely going to notice it here as we go through a rainy period as we go through the early portion of next week. And of course, higher amounts across the higher terrain there. And look at that rain shadowing across the Columbia Basin. Now, looking at total snow as well, because this could be favorable for British Columbia. See, the snow is already flying here as we go through the day today and tonight for some portions here, and then it kind of slides down south, includes some of the Rockies there initially. Then we get these systems rolling in as we go through the weekend, bring in some snowfall to the Cascades of Washington, Oregon. You know, we need it across Washington and British Columbia. Oregon's doing pretty well right now, but we could use it across the Idaho Panhandle and western Montana as well. So we are going to get a couple rounds of snow with that incoming here. We'll take a little bit better detailed look at this this tomorrow, and we'll try to pinpoint some of these amounts a little bit better, but we do have that potential coming up. Now, I want to show you what's coming through the extended. So this is the GFS as of last night. Let's put this into motion. You can see that cold air aloft finally getting out of here. We start to get some warmer air in advance of these systems, and you can see the initial one here kind of rolling in as we go through Saturday, and then another system as we go through the day Sunday, and then the finale as we go on in through Monday night into Tuesday here. And then we really start to build this ridge, and you can kind of see that anticyclone here right off the coastline there. See how it's going, kind of a clockwise rotation. Big ridge builds, and you can kind of see the offshore flow. Some very warm temperatures aloft starting to show up here along some of the coastal areas here, kind of a classic signature of a big ridge here in the Pacific Northwest, and that would allow us to warm up. But again, we are looking a little bit out there in the forecast, so things are subject to change. If that ridge stays a little bit further to the west, it can allow for some cooler air, and we don't get the full effects of the ridging here in the warm-up. So we'll be watching this over the next few days, but the models are in pretty good agreement. The European and the GFS both have a pretty strong ridge here developing along the west coast of North America. And if we look at the National Blended Models, this is daily 2-meter maximum temperature here. So as we go through it, tomorrow might not be too bad of a day, at least as temperatures are concerned across the Willamette Valley into western Washington. Then we drop those temperatures back down a bit here. So we go Saturday, Sunday as these systems are moving through. There's Monday right here, Tuesday, Wednesday. But then by the time we get towards the end of next week, Thursday, Friday, see that warm up coming there? That's because the ridge starting to build up overhead across the region. Then we go on to Sunday there as well. So yeah, there is some hope for some warmer weather through the extended forecast, but still a lot of detail to break down with that, and we'll be watching it closely. You can see on the GFS last night's run daily high and low temperatures. You can clearly see our stormier pattern here, and then we start to warm up a bit here. But these temperatures need to be fine-tuned. This is way off in the forecast right now. Spokane, something similar here as well. It's that time of the year where eastern Washington, Oregon, and some places down in the valleys of Idaho can start to warm up a bit here as we go, even up into British Columbia. And this is for Boise. Also, you can kind of see those warmer temperatures showing up here through mid-March. So take it with a grain of salt right now, but that's what we're watching through the extended. And you can see Bend, Oregon as well. Check it out by next weekend. It could have some nice days incoming here. And looking at the snow water equivalent, of course, we've got a couple rounds of snow coming in here. So hopefully we can bump these numbers back up. We're still hurting a bit across Washington, Idaho Panhandle, western Montana, and British Columbia. Oregon is doing quite well. Many places above average. And yeah, so here we go. The systems are going to be rolling in, and we'll be watching this closely because we are going to have a pretty sunny day for a lot of areas today. But those clouds are going to be trying to intrude tomorrow as we go. And then the systems will be rolling through this weekend, bringing those precipitation chances with it. And then we watch for that ridge. So that is something fun to watch through the extended forecast here. It can kind of be tough to keep these ridges around for long. You know, it's not summertime here yet in the Pacific Northwest. So we're going to have some systems trying to break it down or trying to flatten it out here as we go. So we'll watch it day by day. It'll be something fun to look at. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.